for all the examples we've seen. Him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Some people will say, you know, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever.
Once viewed as one of the wealthiest athletes in sports, Floyd Mayweather now appears to be facing a major decline. The boxing community has shown both disappointment and frustration as his legal problems continue to mount. He could also potentially face legal action from Manny Pacquiao over comments he recently made about their fight.
It's no joy. We are not one of these sick people, and I call them sick. I'm not afraid to say what I feel. That's in their underwear in grandmother's basement or wherever the freak they are, taking pot shot at people because of their misery, because of their misfortune, because they're in a bad place. Shame on you. And shame on the people out there. I know that there's some of them. Everyone knows I don't really read that internet unless somebody shows me specifically some stuff. And I saw some of the stuff. I didn't want to see any more, so I told them, don't show me anymore. But I saw enough to see what was out there. People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great.
Reports have suggested that Mayweather's enormous fortune may not be as secure as many believe, pointing to lands, foreclosures, outstanding debts, and heavily financed assets such as real estate and a private jet, with creditors reportedly seeking payment for unpaid aircraft fuel. Mayweather also created controversy with his remarks about the Manny Pacquiao fight, insisting that the bout was an exhibition even though he reportedly accepted an advance associated with professional fight, potentially putting him in violation of the agreement.
They had to say the fight weekend of Fundora and Thurman. Apparently he did an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jazz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight, not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because, one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get back, and two, also just betting lines. It's a huge aspect of this sport and this kind of fight.
On Twitter, Mike Carpenter called attention to Floyd Mayweather's controversial remarks, arguing that they directly conflicted with Netflix's official announcement and could place Floyd in violation of his contract if he continues describing the bout as an exhibition. Wade Plemon argued that after signing an agreement and accepting advance payments for a professional fight, Floyd's decision to label it an exhibition makes it appear as though he is attempting to deceive Netflix and Manny Pacquiao's team. Plemon also pointed to the Logan Paul bout, claiming Floyd had previously used a similar approach by promoting the event through another person's name and likeness while receiving $10 million in cash.
Something is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying, this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partial.
Teddy Atlas says the situation is genuinely unfortunate, pointing out that athletes can sometimes make poor financial choices when they do not have the right people managing their money. According to Atlas, that appears to be what happened in Floyd Mayweather's situation.
Fighters, they risk everything. They risk so much. And then everything they took the risk for sometimes is lost. Whether it was Joe Louis, whether whoever. It never becomes not sad or unfortunate to hear. Never. It's look, you could say it's their responsibility. It is. It is. You got to know what's going on. But there are also sharks in this business, in any business. And sometimes these athletes, I wouldn't even specify fighters. We're talking about fighters. But you hear it in football, Bud. You were around it. You hear it in basketball. Sometimes these athletes, they don't have the right people around them to look out for them. To properly educate them, to properly advise them. Hey, some don't listen.
Jonah Renitz is a controversial businessman and longtime associate of Floyd Mayweather Jr., often described as an important figure involved in Mayweather's post-boxing businesses and real estate investments. Fight Opinion on X claimed that Manny Pacquiao's team could pursue legal action against Floyd Mayweather over their Netflix fight at the Sphere. That is reportedly not the only legal threat involving Floyd or his key associate, Jonah Renitz. Renitz was previously supposed to face prison time, and now another development has emerged. Manny has made it clear that he considers the matchup a legitimate fight and does not intend to participate in an exhibition. Since Floyd signed the agreement, Manny's position is that Mayweather should compete in an official professional bout.
It's an exhibition and not a real fight.
Is that what's his feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know he said.
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas.
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Okay, so it's still happening then.
He has to remember.
Joe Rogan pointed out that Floyd Mayweather spent more than 10 years as one of the biggest American stars in boxing. He defeated Manny Pacquiao in 2015 in what was in the sport's richest fight, displaying elite defensive skills, lightning-fast hands, and the money-made persona that helped drive his fame and fortune.
Shifted from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. Changed the whole thing.
He knew what he was doing.
He definitely did. It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger, in his prime. It would have been a very different
Would have been
fight.
a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
Much more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Right, exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah, it would have been much more interesting when they were younger. Also, the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder. That was a disaster, too.
Money talks.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so. And I think it was like 4 million buys or something crazy like that.
It was huge.
So, what is
that? It was
that?
massive.
Floyd Mayweather has spent years publicly displaying his wealth, from extravagant watches and luxury vehicles to writing enormous checks, including one reportedly worth $18 million, as though money were never a concern. He repeatedly presented an image of being financially untouchable and unaffected by the consequences of his spending. Now, however, he has brought a lawsuit against his former broadcasting partner, Showtime, along with its former president, Steven Espinosa, alleging that he is owed $340 million. The case reveals a striking difference between Mayweather's public image of unlimited wealth and the complicated financial disputes taking place behind the scenes, showing that even a highly successful and wealthy figure can face serious complications when contracts, money, and financial obligations collide.
We gotta talk about it. 18 mil retired. I know some people gonna be like, well, you said, I didn't want to say I was active, because that's normal. Right. I said I wasn't activated. I knew what I said. So a lot of times I'm like, oh, you didn't say it right. I know I said it right. I knew what I said. I knew what I posted.
I don't really care how much you make, bro. I feel like writing an $18 million check has to feel some sort of way.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to do it. Of course, I'm like, who wants to give up basically 20 million?
You wrote 18,180,000,000.00. Like, bro, that's crazy.
You know, I got huge deals on the table, so I'm always making shake.
What's the biggest thing you got working right now?
I can show this. Come here. So come here. So,
dude, what is it?
Let me keep this long, okay? So right here.
That's crazy.
I just keep stuff on the low.
Yeah, my math don't work like that. My math.
So now, when we gonna cut it and get straight?
50 Cent has argued that much of the dislike toward Floyd Mayweather comes from his money-driven approach to fighting and his constant emphasis on wealth. Many fans have wanted to see Mayweather lose, but Floyd has managed to turn that negativity into an advantage. The hostility surrounding him helped attract pay-per-view buyers and generate enormous revenue, transforming criticism into another source of income. His ability to profit from both supporters and critics has helped make him one of boxing's most financially successful and controversial personalities, showing how even negative attention can become profitable when paired with talent, confidence, and the money-made image that shaped his career.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like.
Max Kellerman explains that athletes such as Floyd Mayweather can face major financial difficulties after their prime when they spend too freely and fail to invest their earnings wisely. He stresses that making huge amounts of money does not guarantee financial security later in life if those earnings are not managed properly. Kellerman notes that excessive spending without preparing for the future can create serious problems once an athlete's income begins to decline. He points to Floyd as an example of how poor long-term financial planning can contribute to debt, legal battles, and even a return to the ring for additional income. According to Kellerman, disciplined financial management remains essential for lasting stability, regardless of how much an athlete earns.
How do you feel about, like, Floyd with the 3 fights that's coming up? Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well? Or just these kind of fights that's going on?
You need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money. This is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, like, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball, or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small, or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with a section of our world.
Max Kellerman criticizes Floyd Mayweather's handling of his fortune, pointing to his heavy spending on luxury automobiles, expensive watches, and gambling. He argues that constantly displaying wealth without proper financial planning can eventually create serious instability. Kellerman also notes that this problem affects many athletes, with some retiring after earning millions only to discover that very little remains. He emphasizes that even the highest paid stars need disciplined financial management because excessive indulgence and impulsive spending can rapidly reduce a large fortune. In Floyd's case, these habits serve as a warning that ongoing extravagance and a lack of meaningful investment planning can create lasting financial difficulties, eventually forcing even legendary athletes to deal with money problems later in their lives.
On top of that, there's no support or kind of structure in place to help them at all. And so what usually happens with almost every fighter who ever lived, not everyone, but most of them, is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? First of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money. Could be bad investments. You could try to do the right thing and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude, you can make $100 million. No, don't do that because you're old.
Right.
Why would he not do that?
Wade Plemons reports that Floyd Mayweather has already collected a cash advance for his upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, even though the fight itself remains uncertain. He questions how the payment was arranged, explaining that while receiving some money upfront to secure a bout is common, receiving the entire purse in advance would be highly unusual. ESPN and Mike Coppinger reportedly confirmed that an advance was made. Plemons also says Floyd has a history of accepting advances while disrupting fight promotions in order to protect his unbeaten record and continue earning money. He points to previous exhibitions with Deji and Logan Paul, where Floyd allegedly demanded large payments or threatened to withdraw from the events. Now, Plemons warns that Mayweather could face legal consequences, as Pacquiao's team claimed Floyd signed 3 separate agreements for a professional fight, received multiple payments, and accepted another cash advance, which they say demonstrate a pattern of financial maneuvering that could lead to lawsuits.
This is to be believed, and this is via ESPN. This is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money or he wasn't going to fight Deji while he was at the venue. And they wanted to change gloves and do all this stuff. And I think they actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions. And obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially scamming royalty like Prince, whoever in Dubai.
Jason Whitlock points to widespread speculation surrounding Floyd Mayweather's finances, including claims of bankruptcy, property auctions, and eventually running out of money, which he suggests could help explain Floyd's interest in the Mike Tyson fight. Whitlock argues that Mayweather spent enormous sums while living in Las Vegas, attempting to maintain an extravagant lifestyle and project an image of being relatable while constantly displaying his wealth. He criticizes his behavior as an example of the risks that come with prioritizing image and cultural status over responsible financial decisions. Now, at 4-9, Mayweather is stepping back into the ring, which Whitlock presents as a possible consequence of excessive spending and poor money management despite Floyd's earlier success and legendary position in boxing.
All across social media, there are rumors and stories coming out about Floyd Mayweather, him auctioning off property, him being in bankruptcy, him being out of money, and that's why he's going to fight Mike Tyson. Saw this incredible tweet where a guy listed all the things Floyd Mayweather wasted money on while living in Las Vegas and just living for the culture. That's what Floyd Mayweather is an example of. The stupidity of living for the culture and trying to be relatable and trying to be this incredible icon or example of, look how much money I've made. He's blown it all, and now at 49 years old, he's got to go back into the boxing ring and continue to fight because he's in a lot of debt.
Powell believes Floyd Mayweather's controversial statements could actually become one of the biggest promotional tools for the fight. By making provocative comments and creating uncertainty, Floyd keeps the matchup in the public conversation and encourages more people to follow the event. Powell suggests that Mayweather's conflicting remarks about whether the bout is an exhibition or a professional contest may be part of a deliberate strategy to build anticipation. The controversy creates more discussion, which can increase audience interest in pay-per-view numbers. In other words, The more fans debate and react to Floyd's statements, the more attention the fight receives. Paulie's view is that Mayweather could be intentionally fueling the controversy, turning public curiosity and frustration into a marketing strategy designed to maximize viewers and revenue.
Ultimately, Mayweather has to agree to whatever the contract is. If it's a fight, I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. He's got to know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just to sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point, so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants to fight right now. I mean, Mayweather wants to fight and probably has to fight right now, and Pacquiao seems to want to and have to as well.
So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.